Hi, it's Sharon with Fitness with Heart. Welcome to week 4 of the Fit in 6 Club Cooking for the Week. This week we are making coconut cashew craze balls. Got that recipe from Blogalotties. Casey's fabulous, so check out her YouTube channel or whatever. She's got some great stuff. Mexican quinoa, 5 ingredient. Beef stew over mashed cauliflower. And Asian turkey burgers. So let's just go ahead and get started. First of all, let's steam, or if you want to put your cauliflower, you could boil it as well. We've got a steamer, so I'm just going to turn my steamer on over here. First, I need to plug it in. I've done it before. I tried cooking things without plugging it in. It doesn't work. So make sure your steamer is plugged in and your equipment's plugged in. I'm going to steam mine. I've got a lot in here, so I'm probably going to do it for about 15 to 17 minutes. I'll check on it. So we have that going so we can process that later. Next thing we're going to start is our quinoa. By the way, on our recipes for week 4, I put 3 cups of quinoa. That's 3 cups of cooked quinoa. So what you're going to do is just do 1 cup of quinoa. We'll make 3 cups of cooked. So I think it's 2 to 1 here. Yep, 2 cups of water, bring it to a boil, simmer until liquid. So here we go. Oh, I want to get out my cute, colorful measuring cups. And my spoon. So I'm just going to put 1 cup of quinoa into my saucepan. You want a big one because we will be adding the other ingredients right to this. Super simple. Seal that up, get it out of the way. And I'm going to put 2 cups of water in here. I always put a teeny bit extra simply because a cup, I can't get it totally full there. So we're going to bring this to a boil and cover it and not forget about it because quinoa takes about 15 minutes to cook. So hey, these 2 things will be done almost at the same time, right? Super simple. Okay, that's my grocery list. I do not need that. By the way, guys and gals, whoever is joining us, just got back from vacation. I will tell you in week 1, I followed the plan verbatim. I actually lost 4 pounds. Just weighed myself today, went on vacation for 10 days, hadn't weighed myself for almost 2 weeks. I kept it off. Yay! So, you know, while on vacation, by the way, I did have a bite of cake or whatever it was. It was Aunt Roberta's birthday, so we had cake. So I had a bite of this and that. We went wine tasting. I did everything in portion control, so I didn't gain weight back. So that is very important because remember, this is about long-term success. Whereas sometimes we gain 3 or 4 pounds here and there and we need a little pick-me-up. So that was where I was at. Yay for me for keeping it off while being on vacation. I made the choice. Okay. So we've got that going on. Now we've got our Asian turkey burgers and our stew. The stew's super easy, so let's go ahead and do that. So you've got your 1.5 pounds of boneless chuck roast. I actually found tri-tip on sale, so I'm actually using a tri-tip. Honestly, I don't know the difference. You know, one is probably fattier than the other. I don't know. If you do, let me know. My roast is already in my crock pot, and I am going to do the rub. So it says rub salt, pepper, and onion powder onto the roast and place in crock pot. So we need a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm probably going to do a little bit less because we don't normally salt things. A little bit maybe afterwards if you want it, but go ahead, the recipe says salt. So I've got all these ingredients over here. I'm going to place it. Where did I put my little, here we go. I'm going to place my rub in here because I can. We've got onion powder, what did I say, ½ teaspoon. A pinch of pumpkin. Oh, it's ½ teaspoon. Look at me go. I'm going to take the whole thing off because it's easier for me. And stick a ½ teaspoon in there. My roast is probably a little bit more than 1.5 pounds, so I'm going to actually do a little bit extra of everything. And you'll just make more servings. Here's the thing. You know, my palm of my hand, this is how look at your quinoa. If it's boiling, we need to turn it down, right? Oh, mine's boiling. Turn it down. Okay. Pepper, I think, was a ¼ teaspoon. Yeah, I'm going to do not quite a half. Because, again, my roast is a little bit bigger. So, again, back to portions. My palm is going to be smaller than my sweetheart's palm. So this is how I measure. This is the size of portion I'll need. And I know that there is no one size meat fits all, but it works for me. So size of the palm of my hand, whether I do beef, whether I do chicken, fish, whatever, it just works. Okay, and then it said a ½ teaspoon of salt. I've got sea salt. I'm going to put some in. I'm not even going to put a ½ teaspoon. It's a little bit less than a ½ teaspoon for me. Because that's how I do it. I'm going to put this away, get it out of my way. Mix this up a bit. And rub it on my roast. Don't worry if some, it doesn't all rub on there, because we're going to put our vegetable broth. Well, it says chicken broth. I'm actually going to try it with vegetable broth this time. I usually use chicken. I'm just getting this little rub all over this guy. And again, some is going on the bottom. That's okay. It'll cook up nicely with it. So, yucky hands. Here, let me just pull my roast out. Here's what my roast looks like. Oh, yeah. So, rinse your hands off. Super simple. Now we're going to mix together the, let's see. Now, it says 2 cups of chicken broth, but it says 3 cups over here. So I'm going to do probably 3. I don't know why I messed that up, but I'll look and I'll get back to you. So I'm going to use, I love this thing. I've got a Ninja. So I'm just going to mix it. You don't have to be this crazy about it, but I've got my vegetable broth. And since it didn't say exactly how much to use, checking on my quinoa, it's still going strong. I'm going to lower it just a little bit more. Again, I'm using vegetable broth today. I'll let you know how it turns out. Just going to stick some of that in here. And as it's cooking, you can check on it and see if you think it needs a little bit more broth or anything, right? Let's do that. And we need the Dijon, the balsamic vinegar, the syrup, thyme, and half of the garlic. Oh yeah, because we're going to use the rest of it for our cauliflower. All right, balsamic vinegar. How much? 2 teaspoons balsamic vinegar, 2 teaspoons mustard. So here's my 1 teaspoon. Again, I'm probably going to use a teeny bit more because I've got a bigger roast, okay? And most of you know that I do not exact measure things most of the time anyway. It's just how I am. I think things are meant to be experimented with. Also, I have brown mustard. I don't have Dijon mustard, so I'm using brown mustard today. It's a brand new one, so I better take this little thingy off, or we're not going to get any. All right. So let's do a little more than 2 teaspoons of the mustard. Oh, that wasn't even 1 teaspoon, Sharon. No, that wasn't good. I'll make a heaping on that one. My hands are clean, even if they weren't. It's only Woody and I eating this, so there you go. Okay. I like to put things away as I go, so I'm going to get rid of the balsamic and put this back over here. Most of you know that we love garlic in our house, so it says 2 cloves of minced garlic. We are just going to, I use the Costco stuff all the time, so I'm just going to put kind of a lot in there, a big lump. Okay. I guess that's our coffee that's pot's going off. We need the tablespoon of sugar-free maple syrup. I would guess you could omit this, not a big deal. But I happen to have it, so I'm going to use it. And again, I did a little bit overzealous of that, since my roast is a teeny bit bigger. What else do we need? We need thyme, a teaspoon of thyme. Take the top off. Okay, that's going to stick in here, so I'm going to use the ½ teaspoon and do it twice. And oh, well, I guess that's going to be enough. I don't know if you saw how much I did, but oh yeah, a little bit extra. It came out in a lump. Oh well. Okie dokie. So, we have everything in here. And what I do is I just place it in my Ninja. I could just shake this up, and quite frankly, I'm just going to shake it up. I think that's absolutely fine. And then, oh, we add the mushrooms to here. By the way, I think I've told you this before. Woody, where did I put my mushrooms? Here, there. Woody doesn't like the texture of mushrooms. I did not slice mine up. He does like the flavor. So I'm going to just put whole mushrooms in here today and see what happens. I think it's going to be absolutely fine. I can eat the whole mushrooms. And then we just stick this on top of the roast, and voila. This part is finito. Oh, look at all that garlic. Yum, yum. Also, because I can, I'm going to put a little bit extra. I'm going to put some onion in here this time too. Just going to stick a little bit. I have chopped onion that I have for the Asian turkey burgers. So I'm going to stick a little onion in here. I'll let you know how it works. But this is how I cook and experiment. I don't really follow directions well. That's terrible to admit, but it's true. So this goes into my crock pot, which is way over here. And as the directions say, we're going to cook it on high for 4 to 6 hours or low 8 to 10, whatever floats your boat, right? Depends on when you want to eat. And let me see on the meal plan, are we having it tonight? We are having it tonight. Beef stew for dinner, Asian turkey burgers for lunch. Yum, yum. Okay. So I'm going to get all of this out of the way. And we've got that cooking, the quinoa, and we're going to be on to the turkey burgers. It's pretty quick and easy this week. So I actually have 2 pounds of turkey in here because they came in pound packages. So I'm going to make, again, a little bit extra. But first, we need to saute the onions. We're going to saute the onions, garlic, and salt. So I am going to get olive oil out, and it says, 4 teaspoons divided, so 2 teaspoons of olive oil, I'm going to guess. It's a little more than that. I was actually shocked. I used to think that I probably used multiple tablespoons before I started measuring. And then when I did, you can kind of know when you get going what it looks like. So we're going to heat up the olive oil, and then we're just going to, it said a half cup of diced onion. Again, I've got an extra ½ pound, so I'm going to make, that says 4 for £1.5 pounds. I'm going to make at least 6. Oh, good. Look at this. Perfect. So, get that oil spread around. Okay. Oops, excuse me. I need my spatula. Okay, so we've got the onions in here, and what else do we put? We do onions, garlic, and salt. How much garlic? 2 cloves of garlic again. By the way, there is a wonderful, simple recipe, and I did, in the old days when I made this, I made it totally with fresh garlic, but if you ever want just a fabulous barbecue for a lot of people, a lot of garlic, a lot of ginger, soy sauce, and marinate your chicken in it. Oh, so good. So good. Little side note there. And of course it said, I think it said to put your salt in here too. I'll probably put a little dab of salt, not much. Again, we don't use a lot of salt. ½ teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to go a little shaker. Just a couple of granules for us. Everybody's taste is different, but the truth is, if you're going to like what you get used to. Again, I think you've heard me say this before. Did you like alcohol the first time that you tried it? Probably not. I actually had someone say yes once. No, we liked what it did to us. We were in college or wherever you were in your life when you had your first drink. I won't tell you how young I was. I was 15. Actually, I was probably younger than that. My mom and dad would let me have a little bit here and there of their drink, so it wasn't a mystery to me, but it was kind of fun. Okay, so we've got that going, and we just got to get these going. So here's something fun that I did. I looked up, I knew that ginger had a lot of wonderful properties to it and a lot of health benefits. I honestly didn't know that all of these were part of them. So it can soothe your stomach. It can reduce nausea. This is ginger. We don't have it in here yet, but we're going to be using ginger for our turkey burgers. Reduces muscle soreness. That's a good one for me. So yeah, I told you we just got back from vacation from 10 days. I didn't work out much. In fact, we did a little walking, short hike here and there. We walked almost every day, but I didn't do any physical activity. And when I got back and did my first outdoor workout, let's see, that was on Thursday. It's Saturday today. I am so darn sore. So ginger reduces muscle soreness, boosts immune system. It's antiviral, reduces inflammation. So for those of you that have pain in your knees, your back, your joints, whatever, can reduce inflammation. For me, who used to have Crohn's disease, I do a lot of things that reduces inflammation. So I guess I'll be eating more ginger. I didn't know that. Anti-carcinogenic, improves cognitive function. I really need that one because my memory is not what it used to be. Well, let's face it, my memory's never been good. But improves cognitive function. Love it. Women can relieve cramps. So I'm lucky enough, I'm at that age where I don't have to go through that anymore. But if you get menstrual cramps, women, go ahead and try some ginger. It can't hurt. And it can even help reduce cholesterol. So a lot of great properties that we might want to consider adding ginger to our diet. Okay. So these are getting translucent. They're about done. I keep spitting some onions out over my pan because, well, I do. So, a little bit longer for that, and I've got my turkey here, and then it says combine the turkey, the soy sauce, the ginger, and the onion mixture. So soy sauce, by the way, I missed the soy sauce on this. I'll fix it. So depending on where you are in the program, if you're one of my first people, it doesn't say soy sauce. Hope you have it in your house. So we're going to take just 4 teaspoons of soy sauce, 4 teaspoons of soy. So I got my soy sauce. I'm going to stick 4 teaspoons. And remember, I have a little extra turkey, so I'm going to do a little extra soy sauce. So I'm overspilling each teaspoon. How many teaspoons in a tablespoon? Is it 3 or 4? I always get that confused. Must be 3 since they're asking us for 4 teaspoons. Okay. Soy sauce. Ginger. It says a teaspoon of ginger. Well, I think I've got a little bit more, of course, so I'm putting my ginger in here. I already have it pre-done, shredded, whatever you call it, minced. I don't know, I use the shredder in my cute little apple-shaped shredder thing. Look how cute that is. Oh yeah, a little apple. Okay, so what else? Ginger, cilantro, 1/2 cup of chopped fresh cilantro. So I have more than a 1/2 cup because I'm using some, of course, for the quinoa. So we have all that in there, and we're going to add the onion mixture as well. So we're going to put that all together into a nice big bowl. We're not done with this pan yet, unless you want to cook your burgers fresh for lunch later, or maybe you're making them for lunch right now. If you are, cool, just go ahead and keep that pan up. You can barbecue these as well on the grill. Super good. Let's see, did we miss anything? The onion mixture, the garlic, got in the onion mixture, the soy sauce, fresh ginger, cilantro. Now, I can't stand having my hands in turkey and stuff. It gets under your fingernails. So I use gloves. These I buy a bunch, so when I like do my hair, you know, I color my own hair too. I have these gloves. So I have a ton of them. You can buy them at Sally's or whatever. And you're just going to mix it all up. You put everything in there and you mix it. Super easy. Again, today is super easy. We're going to make the bars soon too, but they're not bars this week. They are balls, but Blogilates actually does bars. I wanted to make 16 of them so it's easier to do little balls, which we'll make in just a little bit. They're super easy. You're going to put that in the food processor as well. So you just get that all mixed up, and then we're going to make them into patties. So 6 patties if you have, or 4 patties if you have the 1.5 pounds. I'm going to make 6 patties out of this, and we can put it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and cook a few, and then I'm going to have Woody barbecue a few, but we're going to cook a few. Now, the problem is I forgot to put my extra oil back in my pan, and I haven't made my patties yet. I guess I could make them and then stick them in, but why go an extra step? So, a little bit of olive oil again in the bottom of your pan. My pan has a non-stick pan. I don't need the extra 2 teaspoons, to be honest, because it already has some moisture in from before. Now, if you did not get lean, I have lean turkey here. We'll see what it looks like. But I've done these before where it wasn't lean, and I just take out the fat as I go. So, putting the glove back on. I'm going to have these on low, and I'm just going to make a few burgers here. And these, I think, are they're a pretty healthy serving, to be honest. So I'm probably not going to make them quite as big. All right. Stick it all in there. Oopsie. I got it on the non-grease part. Plus, my man will want bigger burgers too. By the way, remember, we are not going to eat these burgers with a bun. Now, I'm not going to tell you that buns are bad and you can never have them again. On vacation, we actually made some wonderful burgers that Woody made, and I had half a bun because I felt like it. I don't eat a lot of bread. I just don't think that bread in general is good for us unless you're doing definitely whole grain, which I did get some whole wheat buns. But in general, you know, bread really in moderation. I was on a cruise ship once, and I've been a trainer for 30 years, but the guy on the cruise ship said, and I'll never forget it, bread, what is it? It's kind of like paste. It's flour and water mixed together with a little yeast and whatnot. But you get the drift, right? Okay. I guess I'll do, no, I might just cook them all up. I don't know. Or I'm going to have Woody do the rest of this, I think, later. I'm going to cook 3. Have them all done. And then, depending on when you bought your turkey, look at the expiration date. I had mine in the freezer, so I know I buy it right away. I stick it in the freezer, and then I pull it out because we eat a lot of ground turkey. So make sure you know when your expiration date is, because now I know that I probably have, 3 or 4 days that I could still eat this down the road, and then we can make them fresh. I need to make those patties, though, don't I? Because I don't like to have my hands in this yuckiness. I just don't. So I need to get a plate out as well. I know this is a little plate, but funny thing is we used this for our bars this morning. Woody and I had some of the oatmeal raisin bars from a couple weeks ago, which I just pulled from the freezer because I always make extra. And then when we come home from vacation or whatever, I can just pull them out from the freezer. I love quick and easy. If you have quick and easy things, you are more likely to keep your healthy habits, right? I am just convinced of that. I'm using a small plate because I serve these on our small plate. But, and I've got extra. As I said, these are huge burgers to me. So I've got enough for actually another burger as well. And I'm just going to stick that on the top of this plate and be done. Well, this one's a smaller one. You can see how big these burgers are that we're able to make out of this. And these, again, have extra veggies in and stuff, too. So, and ginger for a lot of good properties. I'm done. Get rid of the gloves. Yucky, yuck. And while those are cooking, and I've got mine on really low here. I can probably beef it up just a little bit. These need to go in the fridge, so I'll cover them later. I don't want to get them in the fridge. So the quinoa, my quinoa is finished though. So let's go ahead and this is super simple again. All we're going to do is add corn, beans, and salsa. So I think that's it. Am I right? Corn, beans, salsa. Oh, and cumin. I forgot the cumin. Oh, isn't that nice that I didn't say how much cumin? Well, we'll just guess on it. And I'll find out for you. I could check the computer, but then I'd have to, you guys would have to waste time here, and I don't want you to have to do that. I believe it was like a tablespoon. And I'm going to drain my beans, of course. So now when we made the black bean brownies, I rinsed my beans. For this, I don't rinse them too much. I don't put them in the colander. I just stick some water in and rinse them a little bit, but I don't worry so much in this recipe about rinsing the beans. If you want to, go for it. Again, I like things to be super duper easy. So I'm just going to put the can of beans in here. Yep, got it all. I'm going to put the can of corn, and of course I'm going to drain this as well. Take a peek at your burgers. I love doing it all at once, but sometimes it can be, oh yes, I forgot that. Like I almost forgot the quinoa if you hadn't noticed. But I didn't. Okay, so the can of corn goes in there. And again, this is a really nice size serving for 300 calories. Okay, so what else did I miss? The salsa. Got a jar of salsa, stick that in there. And the cumin. How much cumin? Where did I put the cumin? Here it is. Nope, there's the thyme. And now I got it out. Here it is. I am going to, you know what? If you're watching this and you didn't get the memo or whatever that I'm going to send out with how much cumin is in it, I'm going to have you err on the small side. So I'm going to put, personally, I'm going to put a little less than a tablespoon in here. I like cumin. So I think it's a tablespoon. And then you just mix it together. And this is absolutely wonderful, cold or hot. So it's a great summer dish to take to parties and things like that. You just mix it all together, super simple, and it's really yummy, trust me on that. But here's what it looks like. And of course, cilantro, you're gonna put that on when you serve it. You could put it in now. I normally do, and I just have it done. Because I'm not going to eat this right now. I'm not going to even heat it through, because why? Maybe because the cumin comes out, but I don't know if it does or it doesn't. So that looks like yum, yum. Can you see it? Fabulous. Okay, let's look at our burgers here. Not quite for mine. I have it on like between low and medium right now. So that is done. The roast is done. We have two things to do yet. Because the cauliflower is done as well, let's go ahead and do the cauliflower next. So, and this is where the chicken broth would probably be better than the vegetable broth. But I'm going to use vegetable broth because why not? I've got it. So, I'm just going to stick all of my cauliflower in my food processor. Well, but however much I can fit in the food processor. I'm making a mess. It's going here and there and everywhere. Oh, goody. That worked. Okay. So, cauliflower in the food processor. And let's see. Broth and garlic. So, okay, that's why we needed a cup of broth. This might make it a little bit runny, honestly. So, I am going to err, again, on why dirty another measuring cup when you don't have to? This is the cup. I'm going to just start with like a half a cup in here. Just to see what happens. And garlic, well, just a lot of garlic because, again, I love garlic. We love garlic. But all my measuring spoons are kind of dirty. Now I'm going to dirty another fork because that's what I use for this. Garlic, boom. Of course, when you eat onions and garlic, you probably want your loved ones to eat onions and garlic with you. So you both have wonderful breath. A lot of great properties in garlic as well. A wonderful thing for me to research and learn more about that too, I'm sure. Okay. So my food processor is over here. It doesn't matter if you can see it really. I'm just going to put it in here like so. And you can see it. Cool. And I'm going to lock it in. Oops. So I plug it in. Again, if you want your appliances to work, plugging them in is a good thing. And I'm just going to blend it. Wow, that's what it looks like. Yeah, as I suspected, that was more. I did like a half a cup instead. That was more than enough. And now we've got our mashed potatoes, our mashed cauliflower. Yeah? Cool. All right. So that's done. So when you go to have, oh, here I am again. Sorry. So when you go to have your roast tonight, you'll just have to warm that up in the microwave, right? Your roast will probably be fresh out of the oven. But again, you saw what it looks like. And I used less of the broth as suspected. Otherwise, this would have been super runny. So don't listen to that recipe. Even though this is a Take Shape for Life recipe, love their recipes. Everything's super good. But sometimes you have to tweak things, right? So another way to get maybe the moisture out of the cauliflower, we probably could have simply put it in, pan fried it dry for a little bit. I'm going to see what my, oh, look at that. They look pretty. I'm going to turn my burgers over. And because I have the lean turkey for this, I don't have a lot of extra juice or anything. So they're looking pretty darn good. Can you see them? They're browned on one side. And they're not losing much of their size, again, because there's not a lot of fat in them. All right. We do need to take the cauliflower out of your food processor and rinse it out, because now we're going on to our balls, our coconut craze balls. So I'm going to put my mashed cauliflower in the mushroom bowl. I just rinsed it out. So I'll come over here so my back is not to you. I'm going to get all the mashed cauliflower off my little food processor as much as possible. I should have dried my bowl because now I got a little bit extra moisture. It's okay. I might have to taste this too. I will. So I'm going to stick this over here. I'm going to rinse this off. Voila, super simple. I'm going to get all of this mashed cauliflower out of there. Again, this is, to me, a little bit soupy. So I would not put any more, personally, than a half of a cup of broth in here. Half a cup. Alrighty. I'm going to take a taste, though. I'm sure it's delicious. Oh, and the vegetable broth is actually quite good. Yum. Excuse me, but I think I'll have another bite or two. Very good. So, again, I put extra garlic in it. My tennis partner's not going to like that much because I have a tennis game today. Oh, well, I'll stay away and I'll have a breath mint. So just rinse your guy out. Clean it real quick. I am going to dry this a little bit. I don't want all that extra moisture in there for my coconut craze balls. I think I might have did these in my little ninja thing last time, but we'll see. Okay, so what do we do here? We stick this guy back in because I need that. And coconut craze, 20 pitted dates. So I've got all of this over here. Dates, coconut, peanut butter. I'm using peanut butter because, quite frankly, it's less expensive, and I love peanut butter. And I didn't have almond butter or cashew butter. Cashew butter is super expensive. Get rid of the cauliflower. We need 1 cup of roasted cashews. I hope I got a cup. I think I did. Close enough anyway. Let's see what this looks like. Nuts are super good for you, high in calories, high in fat. So just be careful if you're using them as snacks. Remember, you have to be very, very careful. Look to see what the serving size is for that particular nut because they're not all the same. I'll have a few extra here, but not many. I did pretty good. I just kind of guesstimated when I bought them at Sprouts or wherever I bought them at. Oh, I bought them at our little local market. So for those of you, here's a piece of Aaron cauliflower. For those of you who are in Valley Center, Lilac Foods has a good price on those. Okay, so blend it all together. We need the 20 dates. Where did I put the dates? Oh, right under the coconut. Silly me. Okay, so 20 dates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16, 19, and 20. Now, here's the thing with dates. All right, a lot of calories and sugar in dates. All right, so if you've got a big container, don't just think, oh, I'm going to snack on dates because they're good for me. Well, they're not bad for you, but there's a lot of sugar, so don't do it. Let's see, what is the calories? 150. Well, there's 17 servings in here. Does that tell you anything? Yeah, so a lot of calories. Okay, so let's see. We need a 1/4 cup of the shredded coconut. So I need my scissors, excuse me. I'm back. And a 1/4 cup of shredded coconut. This is not what you buy in the groceries. Most of the groceries do not carry unsweetened coconut. You need unsweetened coconut. Did I say 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup? 1/4 cup. Okay, 1/4 cup. Okay. 1/4 cup. Put that over there. Okay, and then 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. You know, I'm gonna, never mind, I'm gonna use this one. Rinse it off my tablespoon instead of getting out a new one. I'm gonna check my burger. You wanna make sure that they're done, right? So I usually cut in half of one. That's typically what I do. They're not getting too brown, so I'm just gonna let them keep going. All right, let's see what I can do here. I might not have 2 tablespoons in this, so I have another thing left in this particular jar. That's a little over a tablespoon, so I think that this jar is gonna be perfect. Oh yeah, good. I had 2 tablespoons left. I'm going to open a new one. Yeah, the first one wasn't quite a tablespoon. So we're going to put that butter in here. There is, if you are a peanut butter fan, but you're trying to lose weight and whatnot, there is something called PB2. You can Google it. Sticky stick. It's called PB2. They take the fat out of it. It's powdered. They have chocolate and peanut butter. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to recommend that you like eat that all the time or anything, right? So these are pretty much done. I'm going to see what it looks like inside. Yep, perfect. So go ahead, make sure it's not pink, or you could use a meat thermometer, but I never do. So I'm going to take these off of the heat because they're finito. Get them out of there. And here's what they look like. Yum, yum. And look how big they are. And these are a big serving, right? Kind of a little bit bigger than the palm of my hand. I guess not that much, though. Close. All right. Everything's in here. I'm going to rinse my top out because I do not want cauliflower and garlic in here. I really don't mind the cauliflower, but I don't think garlic is going to make a nice little addition. So, stick this back on here. Go back to my food processor. And I'm going to blend it. Then I'm going to get my, I'm going to put my little spatula thing in this. Well, I've got this handy dandy thing because I'm just going to, this isn't mixed up good enough in mine, yours might be, but I'm going to stick all of it down there and I'm going to do it again. Some of my dates are still big. The nuts aren't 100% done. So, you know, we just do this a couple times. Okay. Here we go. I bet you didn't hear what I said. I said, let it get to a creamy consistency as much as possible. As it's going, you probably didn't hear the darn thing. I'm going to do this again. And I think I had better luck with my little Ninja, the one serving thing, than I did with this, because I'm pretty sure that's how I did it last time. Off we go again. Ready? Here comes the noise. Oops. All righty. We're going to call it good enough. These are super yummy. I'll get another bowl out for them. I don't really need a bowl, but oh my gosh, so good. So good. So again, we're going to get all of this out of here because we don't want to miss one little bite. These are small. This little bit of mixture we're going to make into like 16 balls. Here's the other way to do this, and you can make these into bars. And all you do is you put them on parchment paper, and you pound it down into like a pan or even flat on your countertop or something. Super simple. And then you can just cut them into bars. I felt like, excuse me, I felt like doing something different, so we do balls. I'm going to get out a little storage container. Excuse me. So, super simple. Make them into little balls. If you get more than 16, then you know that you can have extra. But I just put them into little tiny balls like this. Stick them in here. You probably have bigger balls if you want, but I'm going to do smaller ones. Then I can have more, potentially. You want to get them as, you know, close together as you can. It doesn't really matter. What I mean by that is, I shouldn't say close together, a little bit tight. But these are absolutely delicious. Delicious, no bake, look how quick. And after this, ladies and gentlemen, if there's any gentlemen that are joining us, we're done. This is everything for the week, done in what, an hour or so, I think. We might not have been on here quite that long. But it is literally as simple as this, having your quick, healthy snacks. These little balls are just great, good, healthy snacks that you can have in between. You've got your lunches, your dinners. Life is good. All right. So I'll leave you to continue making the rest of your little coconut craze balls on your own. Again, kudos to Cassie, can't remember how you say it, at Blogilates. Also, I got the quinoa recipe from simplyquinoa.com. Lots of great recipes on that. I'm going to wish that you have a wonderful day. Keep up the great work. Get to your goal. Develop those new healthy habits. And I'll see you next week. Bye.